The mornings are getting frosty. Well, today I'll be working on the Accord, but I've got plans for the Civic. I got a couple of road trips. I'd like to take a couple of spirited roads on those road trips. What else would you like me to try to do with this channel? I'm looking for your opinion. Let me know down below. Here's my wife's Accord, and the project I got to work on this thing today is I want to change out the spark plugs. It's been a very reliable Accord with a K24 in it, and I've got just under 200,000 miles on this bad boy right now. I think I've got about half the miles. She's got the other half. It's served us well. Many trips cross country, many family trips, and a lot of just general driving around the area. So here we go. Let's change some spark plugs. I gotta maintain the Accord too, the 2015 Accord that is, with a K20. And it's time. I finally picked up my own torque wrench. We got some iridium spark plugs and a little dielectric grease. This is only going to require a few tools. I got a standard 3/8 socket drive set and the often missing 10 millimeter. That'll take care of most of the bolts. I got a breaker bar for backup, and I picked up a brand new 14 millimeter spark plug thin wall socket. Let's go to town and try to loosen these bad boys up. There's about 5 bolts on the top cover here. Four, 5. There we are. Should just be a cover, and it's off. That'll expose the coils, and they should be a 10 millimeter bolt also. That one I'm gonna have to dig out. Okay. Let's see if we can get these to unplug. Just to push down on the top. All right, I got 3 of them. The secret with these, as I'm kind of learning as I go, is to get this little thing to not break this piece, but to get in here with something small, lift it up just a little, lift it up just a tiny bit. I can't do this with the camera. I can't. What I ended up using was a really small tool that I have for working on computers. I pulled it right out of my computer set. All right, so I got all 4 of these pulled off, and then I'm just going to start plucking the tubes out. Two, 3, and 4. I don't see anything. I do have to get this little screw out of here now. And now, let's see if I got the right size wrench. I'll try to crack the spark plugs loose. All right, I got them loose. I think an extension will make this work just a little bit better. How does that look? We'll look at them all later. There's 3. And there's 4. I don't see anything wrong with these old spark plugs. They still have their tip on them. No unnecessary oils or anything like that. No excessive burning. I think these have served a good last 100,000 mile. What are we pulling out here? Looks like some old Densos, iridium. And our new ones are going to be the NGK iridiums. I was going to jump right to putting these guys in, but I kind of want to just see how these things come out of the box. With a nice little sleeve, because they're trying to do everything possible to protect the little ceramic tip and everything right there. Well, it turns out these iridiums were not the same size. My socket wouldn't fit on them. I'm going to take them back and find out if I can get a better fit. Well, while I was waiting for spark plugs, I put the ignition coils back in just so dust and other contaminants wouldn't be falling directly into the cylinders. And now it's time to pull them out. And I've done a few comparisons just to look at them and make sure they fit everywhere. These spark plugs seem to fit much better, and they're the exact same thing that came out. We're going to carefully lower it in because we don't want to break the ceramic. And I'm just going to hand tighten it until I feel some kind of resistance. There it is. There's one. And just like those other ones, these have a really neat little protection they put on the end. Carefully lower it in. And I just don't want to have any cross threading. That's why I'm hand getting everything until I get some resistance. I think these Densos are the same ones that came OEM from Honda. And my mechanic that usually works on the car is very big on always putting in Honda OEM stuff. And I can't remember when we got this thing tuned up, but I assume I did it close to the 100,000 mark like you're supposed to. And now that we're getting close to the 200,000 mile mark, it was time to do it again. This time I thought, let's try to do this myself. I haven't changed spark plugs on my own since the old days of distributors and V8s. So it feels kind of cathartic going back to doing it myself again. I believe I read the torque setting for this. It was like 13 pounds. And my torque wrench doesn't go down that low. So I'm just trying to guesstimate it. You never want to do anything too tight, especially with an aluminum block. Or, excuse me, aluminum head in this case. There it is. Before I put the ignition coils back in, I am going to give them a little shot of dielectric grease. Go right there. All right, now we gotta line up little bullet holes. Pull back in. Click. There it goes right back into where it was. Click. That one. I apologize if I'm not giving you the best angle here. get that one to click. And one more back in there. Click. Now, we should be back to the 10 millimeter bolt, and the 10 millimeter bolts in the 10 millimeter socket. While you guys are watching me do this, take down into the comments and tell me how many of you have done your spark plugs on your Honda yourself, and how many of them are going to try it. Because this is really how easy it is. And again, I haven't done this since I own cars with big old V8s and distributors. All right. And remember, don't overdo this. Just snug them down. Spark plugs are done. It's time to put the little piece of plastic back. Five. We'll do the same thing and try to hand start these. And it's just so I don't strip anything out, even though they have inserts. I just don't want to make any extra headaches. And I'm a lot less likely to strip anything if I'm doing this by hand. One more. I'm going to get rid of the extension here. And just get a little tighter. Have it. While we're still on it, let's try to turn the engine over.